interesting mobility system. That's the system that moves the robot around. And it's a corkscrew system of pontoons or an auger drive system. And just like that, Oakton has made it across the obstacle field. Oakton Community College on the left. You can see the students from the Oakton team in the lower left, and you can see their robot in the upper left. Now, on the right-hand side of the screen, you see the Virginia students along with their robot. Okay, the Oakton robot is digging. Looks like it's digging pretty deep. Now you can see the camera view on the bottom that both of these teams are seeing in the control room. So the Oakton robot has an onboard box of sorts made with clear plexiglass sides so that we can see through it, which is pretty awesome from the audience perspective. It's always great to be able to see inside these robots and be able to see the internals, and especially to be able to see the material that's been collected. Look at that load in that bucket on the Oakton side. Very impressive. There's Virginia. We did see this robot move a little bit there. It's moving some more. Oh, I know what it did. It moved its bucket all the way up overhead. You can see their digging bucket, their digging apparatus is completely all the way overhead on top of this robot. Look how deep Oakton is digging. This is impressive. Oakton Community College has been here almost every single year. They keep coming back year after year after year. And great job, Oakton. We really appreciate your dedication to this competition. Here comes Virginia. You can see they got their bucket out of the way, their digging bucket, and they have lowered the center of mass of the robot for stability, I'm assuming. Now that Virginia is in the digging area, it's going to be really interesting to watch this robot switch modes from transport mode into digging mode. Meanwhile, Oakton is carrying quite a bit of material there. Okay, they're going to take off. Oakton is going to go drop off this load and then come back for more because there's plenty of time. Okay, watch Virginia on the right. They're bringing their bucket way back underneath the robot, and then they're going to lower the pontoons. Now here Oakton is lined up with the hopper, and then they just raise their onboard dumping mechanism. Give it a couple shakes. Give it a couple shakes and let it pile out. Very impressive, Oakton. Now go back for more. I love that that entire box is clear. Even when it was lifted up, we could see right through the bottom of it. All right, now they're going back for more. Now Virginia, they've stabilized their robot, and they're taking their bucket underneath, letting it get a little bit of a grip on. Oh, the Virginia robot fell over on its side. That's actually not the end of the world. This robot is very agile. Watch and learn as this robot gets back up on top of its, there you go. It's a very unique mobility system, very agile. It's never had any problems getting across the obstacle field. It does seem to be having a little bit of an issue digging, though. Oakton is not having any trouble digging. They're getting down pretty deep. I predict that they're going to have some rocks, some gravel in this load. Four and a half minutes remain for both of these teams. This is the second run, the second attempt this week for both of these teams. So this is going to be their last chance for scoring this year, at least in the mining part of our competition. There's a lot of other variables involved. There's a lot of other trophies and awards that are given out other than just the sheer amount of rocks that they're able to bring back to the hopper. But when we see them competing, when we watch them competing in the arena like this, obviously we're focusing on the mining aspect of the competition mostly. Or what happened to the Virginia? Okay, the Virginia robot is still moving. When the Virginia robot moves their bucket all the way up vertically like that, you can see the loose material falling out the back of the bucket. So they've got a mesh material on the back end of that bucket acting as a sieve. And so the only material that should remain in that bucket on the Virginia robot are the rocks, the gravel that are worth points in this competition. Okay, those look like rocks on the Oakton robot. Those are worth points in this competition. Now, there is plenty of time, 3 minutes almost remaining for both of these teams. And every time Oakton digs, they get a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper. Now, how much of this material is this Oakton robot going to be able to carry across that obstacle field? There is a risk that if they overdo it, if they get too greedy, it's going to weigh the robot down and they'll have trouble getting back to the hopper. So these are all variables that the students have to plan on and decide on either beforehand or real time during the competition. Going for more. They're going for broke. Usually we see the teams be conservative in their first run and then be pushing the limits on their second run. A lot of times that works out for them. So I'm hopeful for Oakton's onboard load this time. I'm hopeful that they have a lot of rocks there. Okay, looks like they're taking off with their load. With a minute and a half remaining. Yeah, a minute and a half. That's probably what I would have done too. They're not going to need that much time. But you don't know. They could have, in hindsight, they probably had time for one more bucket full. But then again, do you take the risk? Of course, the students that are controlling these robots have other students looking over their shoulder and telling them what to do and what not to do. So, all right, we are down to 1 minute for both of these teams. We have not seen Virginia. Looks like Virginia is slowly making their way back. Oh, nice. Oakton Community College. Now, a lot of this stuff is sticking in their onboard hoppers, so they're going to have to do something to loosen that up in order to get it to fall onto the lander's hopper. With 20 seconds remaining, Oakton has to get all of that material, as much as that material is possible, to spill out of from the side view. You can see how much is still in their hopper. You can see the students going back and forth, trying to get that. Oh, they just lost some onto the ground. And that is the end. Time is up. Let's give Oakton Community College A big round of applause. Let's give University of Virginia also a big round of applause. They started heading back. Virginia started heading back with potentially some rocks in their hopper overhead, but ran out of time before they got back. Great job, both teams, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to some of the students after they come out of the control room in the next couple minutes and find out what they thought about that run and what their perspective was. So that was Oakton and Virginia. Coming up next, we have the University of Tulsa and South Dakota School of Mines and Technology.